Mark Johnson is my name. For the past 10 years, I have been employed as a sales representative for a cosmetics firm. I have continuously maintained excellent performance in the organization, which suggests that sales is a good fit for my personality. Nothing makes me happier than having my efforts rewarded because this organization accurately evaluates results.
But I have a past that is ingrained in my heart.
I was forced to leave university because of bullying from my peers. As a result, I am considered a high school graduate. Nevertheless, I can work here with confidence because this organization just considers outcomes, not educational background. I lived in continual fear when I was a college student. I felt claustrophobic every time I walked into the classroom, and every day felt like a battleground. Even in class, I was publicly harassed by a classmate who was the group leader. My textbook was once confiscated. His pals encircled me, pushed me, and swore at me while I was studying after school. Those comments lingered in my mind when I arrived home, making it impossible for me to fall asleep. I eventually made the decision to drop out of school because I could no longer stand it any longer. All hope was gone then, and I felt ensnared in the shadows. However, I was able to discover my value for the first time after joining this organization. I experienced a tremendous sense of satisfaction after landing my first significant sales representative contract. I felt like I could move forward at that point since some of the sorrow from the past had been resolved. Mark, you're outperforming everyone else in terms of results. Even though you've only been here for 10 or so years, it's incredible that you're exceeding me. How do you achieve such success? That's what my employer Michael told me.
I must admit that I was really anxious when Michael started working as my direct supervisor.
Mark, I thought your proposal was great. Continue your excellent work at the upcoming conference as well.
My heart grew proud when I heard those words.
Mark, don't push yourself too hard. Michael told me one day when I was having a hard time dealing with the stress of my job. We work as a team. Don't bear the load by yourself. Speak with us at any moment. With those words, I truly felt like a part of the company for the first time. Thanks to Michael's support, I was able to stay positive even in tough situations.
It's all thanks to your guidance, Michael. I wouldn't have made it this far without you. I'm always grateful.
No, you definitely had talent even before I started teaching you. But I'm glad to hear you say that, Mark. It means a lot. As your boss, I need to work even harder. Please don't say that. You've already achieved remarkable results. I'll do my best to follow in your footsteps. If you keep outperforming like this, my position might be at risk. But don't hold back. Keep striving to contribute more to the company. In fact, I should be learning from you. My experience is long, so ask me anything. If it's something I can answer, I'll tell you everything.
It's because you always say that, Michael, that I'm able to keep going in this job. Thank you so much.
Having a talented subordinate like you, Mark, makes me proud within the company. I'd be happy if you keep working hard for everyone's sake. It seems I have a knack for sales, and I wanted to hone this further to benefit the company. Michael's always been kind to me. Even though he knows about my past of dropping out of college, he's aware of my educational background but has never discriminated against me because of it. In fact, Michael sympathized with me. Apparently, he had experienced harassment during his school days as well. If it weren't for Michael, I probably wouldn't have found my place in this company, and I might not be working here now. Thinking about that, I feel genuinely grateful to Michael and am determined to do my best to be helpful. Working hard not only contributes to my personal growth, but also greatly benefits the company. With these thoughts in mind, I tackle my daily tasks. One day, Michael called me in. When I went to see him, he looked troubled.
I'm sorry to call you during such a busy time. I need to discuss something with you. Do you have a moment?
I just got back from a sales trip, so don't worry about the time. What's the matter? Actually, a very big opportunity has come up. It's going to be a significant deal for our company, but it seems too difficult to handle alone.
I see. So you need my help with it? Or are you asking me to take over some of your current tasks? I'd appreciate your help with this deal itself. But actually, we have another deal in the works with this same client, and I'd like you to take charge of that one. In that case, I'd be happy to help. But it's a busy time for me right now, so I'll need to reassign some of my current projects to others. I'm really sorry to make you go through that, but your help would be a huge relief. I thought it would be too much for one person.
It's rare for Michael to make such a request, so it must be a significant deal.
I've been with this company for over 20 years, but I've never seen a deal this big. I never thought I'd be at the center of something like this. It's that significant, right? I'm honored to be involved. I'll wrap up my other tasks and start helping right away. I'm really glad to have your help, but please be careful not to burden others too much. I'd feel bad about that. Don't worry. I'll redistribute my work to others and then fully support your deal. Thanks. I'll start preparing on my own first. Let me know when you're ready. Then we can work on the preparations together.
And so I began working with Michael on this massive deal.
I've worked on deals with Michael many times before, but this is the first one of this scale. Honestly, I'm confident in handling deals, but I've never experienced something so big that even Michael feels nervous. I couldn't even imagine how this would turn out. However, despite his humility, Michael is actually very skilled in negotiations. There's a lot I can learn from him. While the exact flow of events is still unclear, I've decided to put my all into this and learn as much as I can. Besides this major deal, I've been entrusted with another one. I have no idea what it entails. There's still a lot I don't know, so I thought I'd finish my current work quickly and head over to Michael. With these thoughts in mind, I delegated my task to others and finally made time to go to Michael's office. Michael, I've reassigned all my tasks to others. Now I can work with you. Where should we start? First, let me explain this deal. It's an $8 billion deal. I don't think you've ever been involved in something of the scale. Mark, you mentioned it was a big deal, but I didn't realize it was that massive. I'm honored to be a part of something so huge. When the company first told me about this deal, I was shocked by the amount. This is the biggest deal I've ever handled. It's unbelievable for me, too. Even a $100 million deal feels surreal, let alone $8 billion.
You must be really trusted by the company, Michael.
I'm not sure of it about trust, but there are only a few people who can handle this. So I was chosen. Even though you've been entrusted with such an important role, you still decided to involve me. I'm truly grateful. Mark, you're always outstanding and a reliable partner in negotiations. I'm sorry for the sudden request and any inconvenience it caused. Hearing it's an $8 billion deal certainly makes me nervous, but I'm very excited about this rare opportunity. I'm nervous too, so it's understandable, but I'll really need your support. I can't handle this alone. I'm honored that you trust me so much. I'll do my best not to let you down. Let's do our best together. And so I joined the $8 billion deal. Even though we call it a team, it's actually just Michael and me, so it feels more like a two-person relay race. What will the company say if we fail this deal? Since this deal was assigned us by the company and not something we brought in ourselves, failure is not an option. That's why we need to take our time and prepare meticulously. While I was thinking about this, Michael called me in again. By the way, Mark, there's one more thing I need to ask you. It might be a bit demanding, but can I entrust you with another deal as well? I remember you mentioning that before. You said it was a smaller deal. It's not as big as the $8 billion one, right? That's right. It's not that big, but it's still a very important deal. So I need you to prepare thoroughly. Of course, I'll give my all and make sure it positively impacts the $8 billion deal as well. Actually, the $8 billion deal comes first, so we need to succeed in this one to positively influence the next deal. I see. That's why you need my help. I'll focus on the $8 billion deal first. I know it's a burden, but your help will be invaluable. Feel free to work on the other deal alongside it. Got it. I'll dedicate as much time as possible to the $8 billion deal and prepare for the other one during any free moments. Let's succeed with this one first. I'm glad I asked you, Mark. I don't think I could have managed alone. Thank you for your help. The deal hasn't started yet, but let's work hard together from here. I'll fully support you. And so, Michael and I began preparing for the large-scale deal. This deal is entirely different from anything I experienced before and extremely challenging. Even so, if I give up now, I'll be causing a lot of trouble for Michael. That's why I have to give it my all until the very end. At the same time, I need to prepare for the other deal. It's the first time I've worked this hard, and I'm physically near my limit. Michael is working hard too, so I can't afford to slack off. But it would be the end if I got sick. Therefore, while taking care of my health, I'm putting in my best effort. If I got sick, it would cause significant problems for Michael. Preparing for the deal was by no means easy. Every day, I collected vast amounts of data and analyzed detailed information about the client company. As work became busier, time with my family became even more precious. My wife and 2 children understood how dedicated I was to my job and always supported me. Dad, are you working late again today? My daughter's sweet voice touched my heart. Yes, I'm working hard, so help your mom, okay? My wife smiled and gently pushed me on the back. Mark, don't overdo it. We're always on your side. Thanks to the warm support of my family, I could overcome even the toughest situations. For them and for myself, I decided to give it my all. One night, I stayed late at the office preparing materials for the next day's presentation. My head was exhausted, and the letters in front of me began to blur when Michael brought me some coffee. Mark, you're working late. Remember, taking breaks is important. So try to relax a bit before continuing. His words encouraged me, giving me renewed energy. As I prepared for the deal, conversations and advice from Michael became a great support. He taught me specific strategies for the success of the deal. By absorbing his experience and knowledge, I felt my skills improving daily. The day before the deal, I received Michael's final advice, which boosted my confidence. Mark, you can do this. If you give it your all, you'll get great results. I engraved those words in my heart and finished preparing for the deal. Having spent months preparing meticulously, even sacrificing sleep, I was confident we would succeed. The big day is finally tomorrow. We face many challenges, but let's make sure we succeed. Mark, thank you so much. Without you, we couldn't have finished the preparations in time. I really appreciate your ideas. I'm glad I could help. Let's stay focused until the very end. If we fail here, all our efforts will be wasted. You're right, Mark. We prepared so thoroughly. So let's keep our focus until the end. Can I join the meeting tomorrow? Initially, I was just supposed to prepare, but working on this together made me want to be more involved. Of course, I intended for you to join from the start. There are things I wouldn't understand without you, so we'll tackle this together. Thank you. This is my first time being involved in such a large deal, and I want to learn a lot from this experience. That's right. There will be a lot to learn. Take in as much as you can tomorrow and use it for the next deal, which is coming up soon. You're right, Michael. Since we have another deal with the same company, I'll absorb as much as I can. Let's do our best tomorrow. And so, I decided to accompany Michael to the meeting. Even though I was involved in preparation, actually tackling the deal made me extremely nervous. Not knowing much about the company we were dealing with, I decided to do some research at home. I found out that the company had a huge headquarters building. Since this was my first time dealing with such a large company, I had no idea what to expect. Nevertheless, I decided to make the most of my preparations and give it my all. Despite my nerves, I was determined to trust in the effort I had put in and face the negotiation head-on. Finally, the day of the meeting for the deal arrived. I met up with Michael in front of the company's building, and we went in together. We were greeted by the representative. James, thank you for coming today. I've been looking forward to this deal. Please follow me to the conference room. Thank you for welcoming us. We've been looking forward to this deal as well and have prepared thoroughly. This deal is a very significant contract for our company too. I'm glad you prepared well. Let's get started. And so, the $8 billion deal meeting finally began. The start was more amicable than I had expected, which eased my nerves a bit. James also seemed a bit nervous, acknowledging that deals of this magnitude were rare. Knowing this helped me relax and proceed smoothly with the negotiation. If James had been intimidating and strict, it might have been difficult to succeed, but he was very kind and receptive to our proposals. I felt that the results of our months of preparation were finally being realized. After several hours of negotiation, we finally reached the end. James clapped with a broad smile once the deal concluded. I've never had such a great negotiation before. Usually, I'm exhausted after a deal, but today is different. It was so stimulating that I don't feel tired at all. Hearing that is truly an honor. We've spent months preparing for this deal, so your words are very encouraging. Mark also cooperated with me, and that's what led to this result. What did you think about the content of the negotiation? Actually, we had similar negotiations with other companies, but this is the first time I felt so excited. I never thought a negotiation could be this exhilarating. Hearing that makes all our hard work feel worthwhile. By the way, regarding this deal, what about the contract? I'm sorry to press, but with an $8 billion contract, it's only natural to be concerned. Of course, we'll proceed with the contract. Really? Thank you very much. We look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you as well. I have great trust in both of you, and I hope we can maintain a long-term relationship. I'm thrilled to hear that. Thanks to your kindness, James, we were able to proceed with the negotiation without feeling overly nervous. Thus, after months of hard work, Michael and I successfully completed the $8 billion deal and secured the contract. The past few months were really tough, but now I feel that all the effort has paid off. If this deal hadn't gone well, the next deal might have been in jeopardy too. That's why I'm glad we put in all these past few months. However, the next deal is also going to be larger than ever, so we can't afford to let our guard down. That said, overcoming the $8 billion deal has eased some of the pressure. I now have the confidence to tackle the next deal with all my might. James also talked about the upcoming deal. I know there's another deal coming up. My subordinate will be in charge, so please take care of it. You two are very capable, and I'm sure you'll reach a contract agreement. I'm honored to hear that. Mark will be handling this deal, so please take care of him. I've heard great things about Mark as well. I'm looking forward to another excellent negotiation. I appreciate your continued cooperation. I'll make sure to prepare thoroughly and approach the next deal with care. Thank you so much for everything. I look forward to working with you again. It's very gratifying to be expected by someone as respected as James. However, I also felt a lot of pressure. Having successfully completed the $8 billion deal, expectations around me were higher than ever. Of course, I intend to meet those expectations. But no matter how much I prepare, I can't predict how James' subordinate will evaluate us. That's why I decided to prepare even more meticulously than I had initially planned. However, the increasing tension made it hard to proceed with my work at times. At times like this, I decided to consult with Michael. Michael, I'm really nervous about the next deal. The expectations from James are putting a lot of pressure on me. I'm worried I won't be able to meet those expectations. It's rare to see you so unsure of yourself, Mark. Just because you successfully close an $8 billion deal doesn't mean you're used to all kinds of negotiations. I think I'm used to regular deals, but with the level of expectation here, I'm afraid my usual approach won't be enough. One thing I can say is that you're an exceptional salesperson. If you prepare thoroughly and consider the other party carefully, they'll recognize your efforts and you'll get good results. Your words give me courage, Michael. I want to give my all in the next deal and prove my worth to the company. You might be misunderstanding something. The company already values you highly, but striving to do better is always good. It might be a bit selfish, but I want to be recognized more and get promoted. Maybe my educational background is affecting this. In this company, your education doesn't matter. If you deliver strong results in the next deal, the company will surely recognize you even more. I'll believe that and push forward. I'll make sure to deliver results in the upcoming deal. And so, I prepared to face the next deal. Unlike the previous deal, I had to handle all the preparations on my own this time. This meant that the preparation took even more time. Although the amount was smaller than the previous $8 billion deal, that didn't mean less preparation. Therefore, I had to stay focused and approach it with the same level of seriousness. After months of preparation, I finally completed the necessary work. With less than a week until the negotiation, I was feeling a bit rushed, but thanks to Michael's help, I managed to complete the preparations. The day before the meeting, I decided to express my gratitude to Michael. Thank you for helping me with the preparations. Because of you, I was able to get everything ready. I believe this will lead to a successful contract. You don't need to thank me so much. I wanted to help because you worked so hard, Mark. I expect good results for the company. I wanted to properly thank you for all your support. I'm nervous, but I'll give it my all. James was a great person, so I hope the person in charge this time is just as good. Indeed, having someone like James will make the negotiation easier. But no matter who you're dealing with, give it your best. You prepared thoroughly, and if you're sincere, the other party will recognize your effort. Your words reassure me, Michael. I'll do my best to bring back good news. With that, I left the company and headed to the client's office. When I arrived, the person in charge, John, came out to greet me. Thank you for coming today. I've heard great things about you from James. I've been looking forward to this negotiation. as well. I've spent months preparing for it. If such a capable person is prepared so thoroughly, I'm sure it will be an excellent negotiation. I'm very excited. Please follow me to the conference room. I had heard that James was an executive at the company. Therefore, even though John was a subordinate, he held a very high position as well. I had assumed that a regular employee would be coming, but it turned out to be someone with a higher rank than me, which made me nervous. However, being nervous wouldn't accomplish anything. That's why I had to give it my all and fully convey the prepared materials and my ideas. When I earnestly conveyed my thoughts, it seemed that John understood, and we successfully secured the contract. James told me this would be an enjoyable negotiation, but I didn't expect it to be this excellent. I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you very much for the contract. Along with the one we secure with James, I look forward to continuing our partnership. I'm delighted to work with someone like you, Mark. I expect many exciting things to happen in the future. If you ever need help, don't hesitate to ask. It's an honor to work with you, John. I would also like to greet James. Thank you, and I look forward to our continued collaboration. With that, I left the client's office and headed back to my company. Although it was a day I could have gone straight home, I wanted to share the success with Michael first. When I returned, Michael greeted me with a tense expression. It seemed he was anxious to know whether I had succeeded in the negotiation. Seeing his tense face, I realized he was also feeling some uncertainty. While I believed Michael trusted me, it seemed he wasn't completely confident yet. Nonetheless, seeing Michael's concern for me filled me with a deep sense of gratitude. That's why I wanted to quickly share the success of the negotiation with him. Michael, we successfully secured the contract. Thank you so much for your support. That's great, Mark. I believe you could do it. Although I had a bit of anxiety, I trusted you and sent you off. Thanks to you, we were able to close the deal. I really appreciate it. I look forward to your continued support. Securing the contract is just the beginning. There will be many challenges ahead, so contact me if you need anything. Having you on my side is very reassuring. I don't think this deal would have gone as smoothly without you. I'm relieved that the contract is finalized. Just as I took a breath, an unfamiliar man walked into the office. Since I hadn't seen him before, I decided to ask, "Excuse me, but who are you?" "If you need someone, I can call them for you. I'm looking for a guy named Mark who came to our company for a negotiation a while back." "I'm Mark. What can I help you with?" Apparently, this man's name was Bill, and he was from the same company as James and John. Since it was our first meeting, I didn't understand why he came all the way to our office. However, he seemed quite angry. It seemed best to address the matter quickly. When Bill stormed into the office, his intimidating demeanor instantly created a tense atmosphere. "You only have a high school diploma, don't you? We can't continue a contract with someone so incompetent. This contract is void." The moment I heard those words, cold sweat ran down my entire body. Michael had never looked down on me because of my education. But now, standing before me, Bill was looking at me with utter disdain. Canceling the contract because of my education is a problem. I spent months preparing for this negotiation, and John fully understood everything. I tried to stay calm, but inside I was trembling with tension. Bill, without changing his expression, put the contract through the shredder. At that moment, the fear that months of effort might be wasted ran through my entire body. However, remembering Michael's support, I decided to calmly explain the situation. You're canceling the contract with our company? In that case, we'll take our $8 billion contract to another company. I'll make sure to inform James about this. Bill's face suddenly changed color at my words. He was visibly shaken and lost for words. Bill hadn't realized that his reckless actions were putting the entire company at risk by acting on his own. Wait, what did you just say? Are you talking about the $8 billion contract? And how do you know James's name? You might not know, but our company recently signed an $8 billion contract with your company. James was the one in charge, and he was looking forward to it. Wait, I wasn't informed about that. If James is involved, this conversation is over. Do not report this to James. Bill was clearly agitated by the unexpected turn of events. He thought he could act superior and dismiss me, but hearing James's name, who held a higher position, made him panic. It was reckless of him to storm into our company and try to cancel the contract without any confirmation. In the midst of all this, James rushed into the office. Apparently, Michael had noticed a commotion and contacted James, who came immediately. When James appeared, Bill's face turned pale. He couldn't hide his surprise at this unexpected turn of events. Bill, what on earth are you doing? This is a very important client for us. Looking down on an employee of such an important company because of their education is unacceptable. Bill stood there speechless, unable to respond to James's words. Why is James here? I contacted him. Since the contract was about to be canceled for such an unreasonable reason, I thought it best to have James, the person in charge, confirm the situation. I felt deeply grateful for Michael's calm and composed response. Without him, I might have been powerless in this moment. Thank you for contacting me. Please disregard everything Bill said. We will handle this matter internally. Punish me? I was just mistaken. You looked down on a client's employee and barged into their company. If that's what you call a misunderstanding, then you'll be transferred to a branch office in a rural area. No way. Bill's face turned to one of despair at James's words. He fell to his knees as if he had lost all hope. James was absolutely right. Allowing behavior like Bill's would undermine the entire company's trust. But the contract was destroyed, and his attitude towards us was extremely disrespectful. To be honest, I don't feel very good about this situation. I truly apologize for that. I admit that our employee training was insufficient. Bill will face severe consequences for his actions. It's disappointing to be treated this way, especially after having such a positive experience with you. James, I deeply apologize for the trouble caused. We will ensure that this never happens again. Please, could you allow us to continue our contract? If you assure us that Bill will not be involved in our dealings, we would be willing to continue the partnership. Thank you very much, and I sincerely apologize once again. Mark may only have a high school diploma, but he is an exceptionally capable person. Please ensure he is not looked down upon in the future. While it was painful to be looked down upon, I was truly grateful that Michael stood up for me. Feeling valued by the company strengthened my resolve to work even harder. When the negotiation succeeded and the contract was finalized, I was overwhelmed with an indescribable sense of achievement. That night when I got home, my family had prepared a small celebration party for me. Congratulations, honey. Congratulations, Dad. My daughter and son put handmade medals around my neck. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Fighting back tears, I deeply appreciated my family's warmth. At that moment, I realized I had overcome my past and taken a new step forward. Later, I heard that Bill was sent to a branch office in a rural area, but the rumor had already spread, and unable to bear the scrutiny, he ended up quitting. I decided to continue working with all my might for this company that values me so much.